Welcome to CarShield Field here in a beautiful afternoon. I'm alongside Shane Holsey, Will Connerly here with you, and some beautiful action here. The Eagles and the Cavemen. First matchup on deck here in the CarShield Collegiate League. And the left-hander Ian McMahon is on the hill. The lefty from John A. Logan toe the rubber, and he'll take on Daniel Sperling, Luke Mann, Seth Halverson, Connor Kiffer, Mitch Daniels, Caden Deal, Chase Gibson, Zach Floyd, and Tyler Headcamp to round out the order for the Cavemen, who are 2-2-1, coached by Will Bradley. Alongside Shane Holsey, Will Connerly, and Charlie Bornoff here in the press box as we're getting ready for 3 games today. So it's going to be fun. We got a triple header on deck, and Daniel Sperling will lead off the day for the Cavemen and Eagles matchup. And this lefty is making his debut here in the CarShield Collegiate League, Ian McMahon. John A. Logan southpaw. The first pitch misses. Sperling, the second baseman. Pitch missed upstairs. Luke Mann hitting second. He had a nice day last time for the Cavemen. Swung through on the 2-0 pitch by Sperling. Cavemen and Eagles. This ball's popped up to left field. Under it is Randazzo as he backtracks to get it and catches it just before the warning track for the first batter retired of this game. And now Luke Mann will come to the plate. And now Luke Mann. Takes the first pitch for a strike. It was a breaking ball by the lefty. He goes to it again, but this time it misses. 1 ball and 1 strike to the third baseman, Luke Mann. And goes to another one that misses, as the southpaw's working on the 2-hole. Luke Mann, who doubled and hit a home run last time out. Also threw a couple innings on the mound and was pretty successful. Did it all for Will Bradley's squad. 2-2-1 on this young season. McMahon delivers, and that ball's ripped to right field. It's going to potentially be extra bases, but Mann will be stopped at first. He absolutely stroked that ball as Maslowski gets it in quickly for a nice single to right field to bring up Seth Halverson. So 1 away and 1 on for the pitcher today. Seth Halverson hitting for himself in the 3-hole. The pitcher and designated hitter in this ball game, as the lefty McMahon works with a runner on.
I believe it's the first time we've seen a pitcher hit for himself in this league so far.
Indeed. McMahon comes set, working from the third base side of the rubber, well off the mound, and another breaking ball. Swung on and missed by Halverson. The lefty comes set and delivers the pitch, missed low. Block by Hamilton Anderson. Doesn't allow Luke Mann to take an extra bag. He stays at first. Here in the top of the first inning, if you're just joining us, Daniel Sperling flew out to left to start off this ball game, and Luke Mann got on via the single, continuing his hot streak. Now the 3-hole and pitcher today, Seth Halverson's in the box.
And just a heads up today, we're pulling double duty too. We're handling game changer duties, handling all the stat keeping and everything. So if you don't hear one of us for a while, you'll know why.
Right on, Shane. Is Shane taking the game changer duties here in this first game, and then we'll do a little flip-flopping as we've got 3 on tap today, and that pitch just missed outside. Looked like a pretty good spot, but just off the plate from the left-hander.
See if the Cavemen want to start the runner here, get something going here in the first inning. Get the defense on the move.
And McMahon was kind of thinking the same thing as he looked over and took a check at Mann. As the lefty made the move to first base, but Mann gets back safely, no dive. No runner goes, but this ball's belted to right field, and it's a goner over the right field big wall, and Seth Halverson does it himself before he toes the rubber in the bottom frame of the first. He gives himself and the Cavemen a 2-0 lead, belting it over the right field wall, driving in Luke Mann, a 2-run shot. A Missouri Tiger belts in another one, and now that brings up Connor Kiffer.
How about helping yourself out a little bit, giving yourself a 2-run lead before you even head out to the mound?
That ball got out in a hurry. Maslowski didn't have to give too much chase as it was over the big wall in right field, over the car shield sign, and that short porch just 299 to right. The big wall makes it play a little deeper, but still.
That's still a good shot for a right-handed hitter to hit it over that wall, just to get it high enough and have enough distance to get over that wall.
Good job to park it opposite field. A 2-0 lead for the Cavemen just like that. A home run to start things off for the 3-hole. The pitcher and designated hitter today, Seth Halverson. So when he comes out of the ball game, he'll still be in the lineup once he comes off the mound. Pitch missed upstairs. Kiffer draws the bases on balls to bring up Mitch Daniels, the shortstop.
And if you're McMahon, you can't let that home run get to you. That's exactly what Hamilton Anderson's going to go out and tell him. He just surrendered the home run and then a 4-pitch walk. He's just going to calm his pitcher down. Nerves are probably, I mean, this is the first time he's pitched this summer, at least in a competitive game-like setting. So he's going to have to just settle down. It's just 2 runs. It wasn't a grand slam. It's not the bottom of the 7th inning. It's still the first inning. Still a lot of game left, a lot of pitches left to be thrown. So just settle down and get yourself a ground ball.
McMahon, first offering by Daniels, is popped away and caught by Arnson over there at first base. So nice play as Daniels was swinging at the first offering in a lazy pop-up. Just barely got into that outfield area as Arnson made a nice play to backtrack and corral that one for the second out. So now the lefty works on Caden Deal with 2 away and 1 on, and a nice pickoff move caught Connor Kiffer, and now a rundown. Eventually Jacobson tags him out, but not before the Cavemen score a couple runs. 2-run shot from Halverson gives the Cavemen a 2-0 lead. Now we'll see him on the mound next. You're watching CarShield Collegiate League TV. Code Ninjas O'Fallon is located on the Deerbergs Shopping Center at Deer Creek Crossing. You can find that at 2955 Highway K in O'Fallon. It's right at the intersection of Highway K and N. And kids ages 7 to 14 will learn how to code by building small video games with the help of their sensei instructors. They will start at white belt to go all the way to black belt. You can go in there today and get a free 30-minute session to just try it out. Kids will have fun. Parents see results. That's Code Ninjas O'Fallon. Call 636-851-9634. That's 636-851-9634. Go check it out. Kids have fun. Parents see results. Code Ninjas O'Fallon. So now the right-hander, Halverson, who hit a 2-run shot in the top of the first inning, will now come out and work in the bottom frame off the mound. And the Missouri Tiger, his battery partner today. Behind the dish is Chase Gibson, and we'll take you around the horn for the Cavemen. Mann at third, Daniels at short, Sperling at second, Kiffer at first, Floyd, Headcamp, and Deal patrolling the outfield. And here's the lineup he'll face for Forrest Herman's Eagles, who are 3-2 on the season. Steven Randazzo, Hamilton Anderson, Noah Jacobson, John Stalkup, Ali Arnson, Kenny Piper, Levi Maslowski, Jacob Bauer, Jalen Jones, and Ian McMahon. As warm-up pitches are getting ready to be complete, and we're getting ready to start the bottom of the first inning. Glad you've joined us today on a beautiful afternoon here at CarShield Field, and you can join us all day long. We've got 3 games on deck for you. But now we'll see if the Eagles have a response in the bottom of the first inning. Starting things off is Steven Randazzo.
And man, if you're Peyton Leaper, you hit a game-winning grand slam yesterday. You're not even in the lineup the next day. How does that feel? Like, what do you have to do to play the next day?
Well, he probably maybe just giving him a day off. Maybe he has a certain
hey.
thing. Obviously, it's a fluid situation in
Yeah.
summer ball. Give guys days off. And
I mean, if you're swinging the bat well, you hit a grand slam the day before, you want to get right back out there and do it again.
you would
But
think, but
hot day.
Who knows if he's even here today? Who knows? I haven't checked. They limit a lot of the contact we have down there with the players, but just something to think about as that ball's chopped up. Good missile thrown over to first base, and Randazzo is retired. Nice job by Chase Gibson to pop up and get that one. But no, you make a good point, Shane, but I think in this situation it's a little different because obviously he's a mainstay in that lineup when he's there, but, they're switching things up a little bit.
Moving some guys around in different positions as well today. Got some guys in some spots we haven't seen them at so far this summer.
Well, that's what we've seen with the Eagles, and a lot of teams have kind of adopted that mentality of at least this summer in 2020, a lot of the guys are just going to play. Mm-hmm. We're going to play everybody. We're going to give everybody their fair opportunities, and we're all kind of in this together. We're all trying to get better and play. And so we're going to have that mentality. Everyone wants to win as well, especially when you're out there competing on a consistent basis like you are in the CarShield Collegiate League. Well, any baseball summer league, really, but obviously they want to win. But I think Forrest Herman, you can really tell with his squad, is he's really trying to distribute that playing time in a sense that you don't always see in college. It's always let's win first. That's more of something you see in the high school level, but this is a very unique situation because some guys need some of that playing time. He hasn't had a full fall season, spring season to evaluate talent and see where things will match up for him. Obviously, you can start to tell maybe who's going to be best apt for success, but I think success on the field and from the coach's standpoint is not as high as the developmental standpoint right now for a lot of these athletes as Hamilton Anderson gets on first base. And I'm not saying those two things can't go hand in hand, but it's something to think about as Noah Jacobson comes into the box, and he's someone who has stayed in this lineup pretty consistently,
Mm-hmm.
but for good reason. Noah Jacobson already with 6 hits on this Car Shield Collegiate League season, hitting .545 to start things off for the 3-2 Eagles. As that pitch misses upstairs from Halverson. Halverson has good action on that fastball. The Missouri Tiger working with 1 on and 1 away against Noah Jacobson, the 3-hole. A swing and a miss. 92 on the radar gun as I peeked down there.
Alfredson hasn't done much pitching at Mizzou, but he was one heck of a hurler in high school his senior year, a sub-1 ERA, 117 strikeouts.
You know, and the Tigers will obviously look at somebody throwing 92 plus right now from the right side with some good movement. A lot of good Mizzou arms. We've said it a couple times in this league. That pitch nips the corner for a strike against Jacobson. Jacobson has 4 singles and then 2 home runs to account for his 6 hits. He has 4 runs batted in and 7 runs scored as well. Been all over the place for the Eagles. A swing and a miss. And Halverson climbs the ladder to put away Jacobson swinging. Now it's John Stallcup who comes to the plate. And John Stallcup's had a pretty nice start to the season. He's got 4 hits, hitting .333. Had a couple yesterday and a couple the other day. And I was talking to him after the game. Nice job getting a couple of hits. He said, finally I got the hits. And it's a swing and a miss. But I was saying, you got a couple hits last time, a couple games ago. He's like, yeah, but those were infield singles. So he was glad to see that he started driving the ball all 3 times, I think, at the plate. He rocked the ball into center field. He got good lumber on it and hit the sweet spot of the bat. He's a little tardy on that fastball from Halverson. Now he's ahead 0-2 with 2 away, and his team with a 2-0 lead coming off the hands of his 2-run shot in the top of the first inning. The 0-2 pitch is chopped away to the left side to the SIUE catcher, who's the designated hitter for Forrest Herman today. Stallcup getting on base about 42% of the time, hitting .333. Has 4 hits here this season, as we mentioned, a couple just yesterday. Pitch inside, and it gets Stallcup. So he will go down to first base, and runners on first and second. He reaches on the hit by pitch, and Ole Arnson will now come to the plate, the first baseman.
Chance if Arnson could put a ball in the gap here, get a couple of those runs back.
So Arnson comes up with 2 away, but also 2 on. See if they can't make up after that Halverson home run in the top of the first inning. He's first pitch a swinging as he fouls it back to the screen, 0-1. Arnson has a couple knocks this season. 1 single, 1 double, 3 runs batted in. Has drawn 3 walks and has been a tough out. Hasn't struck out yet this season. As he broken back ground ball to the third baseman, Mann, who throws it over. Coming up the line is Kiffer. Makes the nice play, gets to the tag. So 3 outs. Halverson strands a couple runners, and we're through 1. 2-0. Cavemen on top. Interco Recycling. This inning is brought to you by Interco Recycling. Interco has been recycling non-ferrous industrial metals, batteries, computers, and electronics since 1996. The company operates a 400,000 square foot, 45-acre facility on the Illinois side of downtown St. Louis. So, Shane, if your company has large amounts of scrap metals, batteries, electronics to recycle, call Interco Recycling. Their number is 1-877-258-3601, or you can just head to the interwebs and find them at www.itcscrap.com. That's Interco Recycling, a Mellatronics recycler since 1996. So Halverson, the top of the first inning, hits a home run, and the bottom of the first inning throws a clean frame, and he's in position to giving his team the lead, but now the Cavemen look for more. They've got Caden Deal, Chase Gibson, and Zach Floyd due up here in the top of the second inning against Ian McMahon, making his first start here in the Car Shield Collegiate League, getting the nod from Forrest Herman. And Shane, we both saw on social media, he's pretty pumped to Southpaw was to get this start here in the Car Shield Collegiate League. A lot of these pitchers have been working consistently on their game, throwing bullpens, throwing in training facility atmospheres, but then there's nothing like that game competition. That's what you do that training for.
Absolutely.
And so a lot of these guys, I'm excited to get back out on the mound. I haven't been in a while, and so that is the feelings we kind of got just from the social media's aspect of him adding some of the things we saw on Twitter, that he was pretty pumped up as the Southpaw working against the left-handed hitting left fielder Caden Deal to start off this top of the second inning.
And throwing all those bullpens and throwing those like in the big leagues, the simulated games and all that, that's all fine and dandy, but there's nothing like getting out there in a game atmosphere. Even in an atmosphere like this, it's still a competition. You're playing a 7-inning game as opposed to just throwing a bullpen with a catcher and maybe a pitching coach.
Exactly. And you can really foster and develop a lot of things through bullpens in some capacities, but obviously the end goal is to be able to have those things be successful in a game. And so the training aspect is so important, but it looks like a lot of these athletes, it just brings up another conversation as we dovetail to a new topic. Is just all these athletes have been in some type of facility, or most of them have been in a facility where they've just been restricted to training methods, and this competition has just been just a great light at the end of the tunnel.
Something to look forward to. When you're doing all that training just to train itself, I mean, you can motivate yourself, but you kind of have to muster up that motivation all on the inside. There's nothing really to look forward to, but when you have a game to look forward to, say in a week or two, that just ramps up that training even better and makes the training that much more worth it.
And they were saying when you look at sports coming back, whatever capacity they are going to or whenever they are, but what people have been talking about, which is interesting, and when we talk about training, is the fact that you'll kind of be able to tell who was motivated and disciplined during this time to still consistently refine and train their craft to become better, because you'll be able to tell and you'll see the disparities. As the pickoff over to first, looking back, McMahon has featured a nice pickoff move today, getting one runner. A swing and a miss, but the runner will take off. And reach second base. That was Caden Deal, who reached on the free pass. Now Chase Gibson, the catcher, is up. But no, Shane, I think it's interesting to talk about those topics, because it is all about a lot of the success, and a lot of the success of all these baseball players comes through their training in the offseason. That's where it comes down to. But you can't really, when you have such a prolonged offseason, as this ball is hit to right field, under it is Maslowski, but it gets over his head, and Deal is rounding around second. He'll go to third base, and taking second is Chase Gibson, so a miscue in the outfield. So after Maslowski makes the error, it brings up Floyd with runners on second and third and nobody out. So Caden Deal starts descending off with a walk. And then Chase Gibson gets on via the E9. He's now on second. And Deal is at third. So runners on second and third for the right fielder, Zach Floyd. Zach Floyd has one hit this season. Looking to cash in and get some RBIs. He has scored 3 runs, and an interesting statistic we talk about for him is he's been hit by pitch 4 times, the most on the team. That would load the bases in the event that he would get hit by a pitch here. Drawing a couple of walks as well. But any way you can get on, you always look at that on-base percentage as an important statistic on the offensive side, as that pitch is taken for the first strike. Nice job by McMahon to dot up the corner. Something we've noticed with this lefty, he's working very far to the third base side of the rubber. You see some guys use different sides of the rubber to their advantage, as that breaking ball's in there for a strike. And when a lefty is working from the first base side of the rubber, it can offer a lot of deception. But when you see a lefty working from the third base side of the rubber, a lot of the times it can be more apt for control for that glove side fastball, as that's a swing and a miss from Zach Floyd to get the strikeout. Good job right there by McMahon to get settled in after a visit from his coach, Forrest Terman. But what I want to say with that is, working from the third base side of the rubber does offer some advantages. There's advantages to both sides, but I think it's interesting because obviously it's an individual thing. What am I most comfortable with? What will offer the most control, command, consistency, and velocity for me? Because just moving to a different side of the rubber, you may not think it's a big thing, but it actually can be a pretty big deal when you have a lefty going from the first base side of the rubber and his breaking ball's coming out here to a left-hander instead of he's coming out basically behind his head sometimes, but then you're working from the third base side of the rubber, it's not coming out as far behind him. So it definitely plays a different role, but I've seen a lot of the lefties who can do what McMahon do at a high level. They really control the inside of the plate to right-handers, and he has liked working there as well, but obviously then it gets tougher to hit the arm side. But the thing with that is, if you have some run as a lefty, a lot of times they won't even worry about that because it will kind of just run to the arm side as well. So I think that's just something that we think about as he walks that hitter Tyler Headcamp to load the bases. When you look at just the way left-handers approach their craft, and we all love the southpaws, so it's fun to talk about, or at least I do for some reason.
I was going to say, at least one person in this booth does.
So the bases are loaded, and Daniel Sperling comes up here in the top of the second inning. Pitch inside. That's a hit by pitch. Another run will score, now 3-0. So Headcamp goes to second, Gibson goes to third, Sperling gets hit by the pitch and goes to first, and Luke Mann comes up, who's singled to right field, came around to score in the first inning, and now here in the top of the second, a 3-0 ball game now.
And going back to which side of the rubber you like, it's all up to the pitcher. It's a preference thing.
Another hit for Mann, and this time it will give him a couple of runs batted in as he hits this one to right field. Maslowski doesn't play it well. Mann gets to second and 3 runs score. Sperling comes around all the way from first. Gibson comes home. Headcamp comes home. And that's 3 runs batted in for Luke Mann right there on the single to left field and then advancing on the air. Seth Halverson coming up. Things don't get easier for the left-hander as Halverson hit one over the big wall in right field last time up to give the Cavemen a 2-0 lead as Luke Mann clears the bases with the 3 RBIs on that knock to right field. And Halverson goes down to his knees on that one, swinging and missing. Runner on second is Luke Mann, just 1 away. It was the strikeout of Zach Floyd. And pitch inside. Halverson gets nicked by it, and he'll reach base. on the hit by pitch. So a couple hit by pitches, a couple errors, and a couple singles have been really troublesome this inning as Connor Kiffer comes up to the plate. So 2 runs scored in the first, 4 more here in the top of the second. Runners on first and second. As McMahon is working, pitcher is getting hot down in the bullpen for the Eagles. A walk, error, another walk, hit by pitch, a single, and a hit by pitch have been the runners on base this inning for the Cavemen. A couple walks, a couple hit by pitches. And that 3 RBI knock by Luke Mann, as that ball is fouled away. Proved to be huge. Mann is 2 for 2 with a run scored and 3 runs batted in. He came around to score on that Halverson home run in the first inning as that breaking ball misses low. It's Shane Holsey, Will Connerly here with you. Carcia Collegiate League TV in the top of the second inning. Cavemen off to a very nice start. They scored 2 in the first with a Halverson home run. They've scored 4 here in the top of the second inning. They've taken advantage of a couple of walks, a couple hit by pitches. And Mann had a bases clearing knock to right field that brought 3 runs home. A foul back to the screen by Kiffer, the first baseman today for Will Bradley, who's ought to be happy with his team's offensive production to start things off. And you see a new addition, Halverson, to the lineup. New addition, we talk about his first game was just a few days ago. He seems to prove huge as the Mizzou Tiger teammates with Luke Mann, both hitting back-to-back in this order. This ball is belted to right field by Kiffer. And it's gone. A home run for Connor Kiffer as he knocks this one to right field. Good job to ambush the fastball and take it to the opposite field for a nice home run as Kiffer trots around the base paths. And that will be the inning. They will roll this inning after Kiffer ends it with a home run. We'll be back with you next. Bottom of the second coming up. 9-0 is the score. Connor Kiffer ends last inning to cap off a 7-run top of the second inning. And if you were with us and you were confused why that inning was concluded, a couple times this summer when the pitcher gets overworked in one inning and they've thrown a certain amount of pitches on an individual basis, they will roll the inning. And that's pretty common in a lot of things, inter squads and things that teams do. And this is kind of more of the setting that these teams are approaching this. These coaches, these players, the managers, everybody involved, they're approaching this more as an inter-squad type setting. You have competition, but you're also going to take care of a pitcher's arm, not hang him out to dry out there, and that's what they did. They rolled the innings in those circumstances as Halverson gets back in the zone. If you saw on the screen, that first pitch went way back to the backstop. A swing and a miss from Piper. The center fielder starting things off in the bottom of the second inning for the Eagles.
They're keeping me busy here on Game Changer.
Yeah, how's that going? First time for you?
It's so far so good.
A little leg kick situation.
Little, trying to throw off the timing of the hitter a little bit.
Signs of Mr. Stroman out there a little bit. As Halverson went up and down with his leg, just mixing up his timing. This is the regular leg kick here.
And to be able to do that, you have to have great balance on that back leg. You can't let your body fall forward or else you're going to lose a lot of velocity with that. That pitch looked no different than any other one except for the leg kick.
Yeah, you got to have good balance, good core strength. A lot of things got to have to happen, but you got to pitch with that confidence, and if you want to mix it up, kind of like Johnny Cueto.
We see Adam Wainwright do that some too. Sometimes he'll go glove over his head. Probably have some Cardinal fans watching. You've seen Adam Wainwright pitch. Sometimes he takes a glove over his head. Sometimes he pauses for a second. Sometimes he goes really quick. So pitching is all about disrupting the timing of the hitter. That's the name of the game. However you can do it.
And nowadays, you want to disrupt the timing by throwing the ball 95 plus and not letting him time it up at all, just by having the velocity behind it. A swing and a miss, a great breaking ball. Throwing it low, keeping it low, and not letting the hitter touch it. Kenny Piper starts off this bottom of the second inning, strikeout swinging, as that brings up Levi Maslowski, the right fielder. Maslowski coming up. We'll see what he can do with the lumber. His team trails 9-0. As Halverson's working here in his second inning of work. Has featured some good stuff. A pretty lively fastball in the low 90s today. And then a nice sharp breaking ball that he got that strikeout on against Piper. As the Mizzou right-hander's working. A swing and a miss. A late swing from Maslowski. Seen Halverson showcase a dual threat, just like his teammate Luke Mann is a dual threat as well on the mound. Ring him up, a strike three right down Broadway. Maslowski took it, and now there's two away. Back-to-back strikeouts to start off the bottom of the second. But we talk about the dual threat at third base. Luke Mann has got a nice arm on the mound and also hits in the middle of the order for this team. And likewise, Halverson, very talented arm. And has great power. Both of them can put it out of the park and throw it above 90 miles an hour, so they've both got something going for them on both sides of the baseball. And so do the Cavemen. They got something going for them really in every capacity, up 9-0 right now in the bottom of the second inning.
All things good for the Cavemen right now. Still a lot of game left, though.
A ton of game left. We've seen some crazy things happen in the Car Shield Collegiate League.
I mean, just yesterday, the Eagles scored 6 runs in the 6th inning. They were trailing 7-3 going into that inning. Granted, 4 of them came on one swing.
How about a salami?
Grand salami.
Slam from Kenny Piper.
We've already seen a couple grand slams.
Peyton Leaper. I mean, not Kenny Piper.
Peyton
Leaper. Kenny Piper started off this inning with a strikeout. But, yes, Peyton Leaper, who you mentioned not in the lineup today, did have that big grand slam yesterday. That
Proved to be a
ball's
walk-off.
fouled away. In turn, it was that walk-off because they not only will they sometimes roll innings, but also they'll roll games after sometimes a certain inning if they don't have enough pitching. Okay, after the sixth, we're going to be complete. And so that's what happened, and like you mentioned, it proved to be the walk-off because of the lack of pitching. Nice fastball, but it was close.
Bauer laughing that one off. He thought that was strike 3. I think everybody besides the home plate umpire thought it was strike 3. Even Bauer was headed back to the dugout.
Hey, that's the only opinion that matters, though.
That's the only one.
Home plate umpire. We'll see if Halverson can't strike out the side. His stuffs look good here in the bottom of the second inning.
Got him that time.
He does. We'll see if they can complete it. Down to first. And the scoop can't be done by Kiffer from Gibson. So he does get that third strikeout this inning, but it does continue. Already 4 strikeouts for Halverson today. Through an inning and 2/3. Now the second baseman, the 9-hitter, Jalen Jones, up to the plate. Pitch missed low. 9-0 lead for the Cavemen. And it was that right-hander that you're watching on the mound right now get things started for the Cavemen in the top of the first inning. Had a 2-run home run. Came out to the mound, threw a clean bottom of the first, and then the Cavemen exploded for 7 runs in the top of the second inning. 9-0, they have the lead. And this right-hander already has put away, or already has recorded 3 strikeouts this inning, 2 of them counting for outs, 1 reaching on the drop third, Jacob Bauer. That pitch is missed low. The powerful right-hander showing some good stuff. Shane mentioned he had some stellar numbers at the high school level. A sub-1 ERA. That breaking ball missed low. As the fans have settled in here at CarShield Field for the $5 frenzy. All afternoon games, just $5. So if you like what you see on your screen, you can always get out here on any of these afternoon games for just $5 as man comes in on this one. Couldn't get it out of his glove quick enough, but they're going to call that one a hit. Tough play to come up on that ball that chopped to man at third base. Then was kind of caught with indecision right there where he was going to go. Couldn't get it out of his glove, but will be an infield single for Jalen Jones. Jalen Jones is getting down the line quick. That definitely played into the factor, the decision of what Mann was going to do with that one. So after Halverson strikes out 3 hitters this inning, Jacob Bauer reaches on the drop third. Then he surrenders an infield single to Jalen Jones, and now runners on first and second with 2 away for the top of the lineup as it flips back over to Steven Randazzo. So we'll see what the left fielder Randazzo can do against Halverson. There is some action down in the Cavemen bullpen. Likely, potentially the last inning of work for Halverson if they've been keeping a close eye on a lot of these pitchers. As the right-hander comes set, working with 2 on and 2 away. A strike called against the leadoff hitter, the right-handed swinging left fielder, Steven Randazzo. Pitch missed low, good block there from Gibson. This is the first time that we've seen Halverson on the mound in the CarShield Collegiate League. Likewise, the starter for Forrest Herman, Ian McMahon, both making their debut on the rubber. We saw Halverson play center field the other day, but now showcasing what he can do on the mound. 9-0. His team has the lead as that ball's chopped away to the right side, foul and out of play. Now a 2-strike count as Randazzo asking for some new lumber.
Might be a chip on that bat. He kind of caught that off the end of the bat.
So we'll see what he can do with the new piece of wood. He's got 2 strikes against the talented right-hander who's already put away 3 hitters, or has already recorded 3 strikeouts this inning. Looking for a 4th, a 9-0 game here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Alverson comes set. That pitch is missed low. Now that evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 2nd inning with 2 runners on. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. And
Deuce is
Halverson,
wild.
Deuce is wild as Halverson delivers the pitch. That ball's hit hard up to the second baseman. A throw over to Kiffer, and he can't scoop it out from Sperling. And now they throw it over, and at second, they get the out. So no run scores. They get the out at second, and that's how the inning wildly ends. 9-0. We send it to the 3rd. You're watching Car Show Collegiate League TV. This inning's brought to you by Interco Recycling. Interco has been recycling non-ferrous industrial metals, batteries, computers, and electronics since 1996. The company operates a 400,000 square foot, 45-acre facility over on the Illinois side of downtown St. Louis. So if your company has large amounts of scrap metals, batteries, or electronics to recycle, call Interco Recycling, 1-877-258-3601, or you can find them on the web at www.itcscrap.com. That's Interco Recycling, a Mellatronics recycler since 1996. Now on the mound for the Eagles is Dawson Taylor. Dawson Taylor looked terrific last time on the mound. He struck out the side in order. So we'll see what the right-hander has here in his second outing in the Carcio Collegiate League for Forrest Herman's Eagles, as he faces the Cavemen, who have plated 9 runs in the first 2 innings. Mitch Daniels now to the plate. To lead off this inning will be Mitch Daniels, Caden Deal, and Chase Gibson facing off against Dawson Taylor. The right-hander misses low with that pitch. We talk about pitchers who look terrific. 3 strikeouts in a row last time out. Happy to get to see more of this powerful right-handed pitcher once again on the mound. That pitch is hit glove side for a strike. At 2 balls and a strike against the shortstop, who's 0 for 1. Pitch missed upstairs. Here in the top of the third inning, we'll see if the Eagles can't keep the Cavemen off the board. Not something they've been able to do in the first two frames. 2 runs in the top of the first, 7 in the top of the second. As Daniels pops this ball up. Arnson was running over to it, but it drops on the right side in front of the Eagles dugout, as neither the catcher Anderson or first baseman Arnson could get to it. And the count runs full, 3 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter here in the top of the third inning, Mitch Daniels, the shortstop.
And Taylor was impressive the only time he's been out there. Pitched against the Falcons last Friday, struck out all 3 batters he faced.
Yeah, as we mentioned, I mean, he's had some electric stuff. And so now the first 4 hitters he's seen in the Carcio Collegiate League have gone down via the strikeout.
Dawson Taylor's on the mound. You don't even need any fielders out there in the field. Just he and the catcher and the hitter. That's all you need.
Caden Deal comes up, walked, and came around to score in the second inning, where the Cavemen scored 7 runs off of the hands of a home run from Connor Kiffer, a nice 2 RBI double from Luke Mann. It's a big-time action, nice offensive parade early on for the Cavemen. As Taylor misses upstairs with that one, also loses his hat. He tried to find the high strike. And the right-hander delivers. That ball's fouled away. And the breaking ball's hit to the left side and foul. And you talk about strikeouts, that's something that the Eagles pitching staff has done a pretty good job of coming into this game. They had 42 strikeouts in 30 innings pitched as a staff. So that's pretty efficient, pretty effective, and they've had some numbers go up. Trosser with 9 strikeouts in just 5 innings. A couple other, obviously Taylor with 4 now in an inning and third on the season. He almost puts away Deal on the outside pitch, but it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes as it just misses. They got some good pitchers on the staff as that ball's hit up the middle by Deal. Thrown over from Jacobson to Arnson to put the hitter away. First hitter that does put the ball in play against Taylor, but does get retired. So now 2 away for Chase Gibson. That's Taylor on the season here in his second outing. So he faces the catcher Chase Gibson, who reached on an error last time by Maslowski.
Hit that ball well, but Maslowski, I'll tell you, he should have caught it.
So 2 away, nobody on. And at the dish is the catcher Chase Gibson for the Cavemen, who have a 9-0 lead in the top of the third inning. Old Cavemen Eagles action. That pitch missed upstairs. The 2-0 delivery from Taylor is popped up. The second baseman, Jalen Jones, running back and makes a nifty play on it for the third out. So Taylor sets down the side in order. We will send it to the bottom of the third. You're watching CarShield Collegiate League TV. Hamilton Anderson, Noah Jacobson, John Stallcup leading off things in the bottom of the third inning for the Eagles, looking for some offense. They trail 9-0. New pitcher into the game, Chase Stevens, so the right-hander will come out. His second appearance here in the Car Shield Collegiate League under Will Bradley. That pitch drops in for a strike from the right-hander. Chase Stevens went 1 inning. Allowed 3 earned runs, issued 4 walks, but back at it again as that breaking ball misses inside. So had a little issue with the command last time, and we'll see what he can't do this time as that pitch misses inside. Bradley trying to get some work out of Stevens here. 9-0 is the lead in the bottom of the third inning. As the Eagles look for some offense, the catcher Hamilton Anderson singled last time at the plate. That pitch missed upstairs. Hamilton Anderson looking to start things off in the bottom of the third inning. Has a nice count, 3 balls and a strike. Will look to drive something. He takes that one for ball 4. So Anderson reaches on the free pass, and Noah Jacobson comes to the plate. Noah Jacobson been very impressive so far in the Car Shield Collegiate League. We mentioned it, hitting .545 coming into his play today.
Not too shabby.
6 hits, a couple home runs, 4 RBIs, 7 runs scored. Throw in a couple of stolen bases as well. He does it all, and he's up. We'll see if they can't cut into this deficit. That's what the Eagles will try to do as Chase Stevens looks to work around a leadoff walk to start the bottom of the third inning. Hamilton Anderson on first base. Then the shortstop and 3-hole Noah Jacobson at the plate. The 1-0 pitch is missed away. The hitter on deck is John Stallcup, the designated hitter. Reached on the hit by pitch last time, but Noah Jacobson now in a 2-ball, no strike count. A swing and a miss. So Stevens comes set for the 2-ball, 1-strike pitch. It misses away. 3 balls and a strike. Now in jeopardy of walking the first 2 hitters to lead off the bottom of the third inning, which gives the Eagles a good opportunity to at least start chipping away at this deficit with the heart of the order coming up. That's taken for ball 4. Jacobson reaches as back-to-back hitters do indeed reach on the free pass. And now the DH, John Stallcup, will come up. Reached on the free pass last time. Gibson wants to have a word with his pitcher, Stevens. So Halverson looked good today, Shane. He struck out 3 hitters in the second. 2 clean frames, 4 strikeouts. He turns the ball off to Stevens to try to continue the duty and starts off, see if he can't turn it around. Walks the first 2 hitters here in the bottom of the third, and now faces the cleanup hitter, John Stallcup.
And don't want to let this inning get away from you. You got to make a good pitch here, get the ball in the strike zone, and make them put the ball in play.
So Chase Stevens comes set. And the first offering to John Stallcup missed way upstairs. There is some action down in the Cavemen bullpen. As runners are on first and second, they both reach via the free pass. And that pitch gets in there for a strike from Stevens, the right-hander. Facing against John Stallcup. He's hitting .333 on this season, the SIUE catcher, the designated hitter today. 1-1 pitch is missed upstairs for ball 2. So 3 balls and a strike to the DH, John Stallcup. He has runners on first and second. And here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, it looks like this is the best opportunity for the Eagles to score, as Halverson did a nice job of keeping them off the scoreboard in the first 2 innings, but nobody out, and the first 2 runners reached via the free pass make that 3 as John Stallcup draws the bases on balls. And so Stevens comes into the game and walks the bases loaded. That warrants a mound visit from Will Bradley. We'll see if he makes a call to the bullpen. You hear a little country music in the background. Coulter playing some nice songs out here as Will Bradley has a little chat with his right-hander, maybe trying to calm him down after walking the first 3 hitters to start off this inning, as he's in a bases-loaded situation against Arnson, the first baseman.
Just try to get his mechanics under wrap. A lot of those pitches missing high in the zone, so he's got to get on top of the baseball and try to get himself a ground ball. Not going to be easy against Arnson.
The bases are juiced for Arnson as that pitch is missed upstairs. Ole Arnson, the first baseman. He's 0 for 1. As he rips this one to left field, and that will get down. 1 run's going to score. As they just go station to station, Jacobson moves up to 3rd as Deal got that ball in quickly from left field. So now the Eagles are on the board. Nice RBI single from Arnson. Good job by Ole Arnson as they go station to station to finally notch their first run of this game. As Kenny Piper now comes into the box, who struck out swinging against Halverson last time up in the 2nd inning. But here in the bottom of the 3rd, bases juice, nobody out for the Eagles, as they cut their deficit to just 8 runs, looking to chip away here in the 3rd inning as this ball sails and misses upstairs. Gibson stops it from going to the backstop. And that ball's fouled away as well. Kenny Piper, the center fielder, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Looking to do some damage with the bases loaded. Chase Stevens looking to work around walking the first 3 hitters he faced this inning. The bases were loaded, then surrendered the RBI single to Arnson. Misses with that pitch. So runs it to another 3-ball count from the right-hander. We'll see what Piper, the center fielder, can do. He hits this one up the middle, could be 2, but the ball is thrown away. And so Jacobson came around to score. Now Stallcup comes to score. Arnton moves up to 3rd. And 2 runs get knocked home. Jacobson and Stallcup score. Arnson goes to 3rd, and Piper reaches on the air, gets all the way to second base. And now Levi Maslowski comes up with runners on 2nd and 3rd. A couple more runs score as it's 9-3. The deficit is cut to 6 for the Eagles. The bases were loaded. The first 3 hitters this inning reached on the free pass. Then a Arnson single and a Kenny Piper reaches on the air. Allows a couple more runs to score. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. For Maslowski. A swing and a miss from the right fielder. Jacob Bauer on deck. Here in the bottom of the third inning. On CarShield Collegiate League TV with Shane Holsey and myself, Will Connerly, alongside Charlie Bornoff. As that ball's hit to the left side, Daniels is going to go to third. They get the tag down and get the runner Kenny Piper trying to get to third base, so that will be an out recorded, the first one of this inning, but Arnson comes around to score, so that's another run. Now 9-4 is the score. And Maslowski reaches on the fielder's choice. The 6-5 fielder's choice as it's 9-4. That pitch misses away to Jacob Bauer. And we'll see what Mr. Bauer can do. He's had one hit this CarShield Collegiate League season, along with one run batted in. That ball's hit to the left side. Mann throws it over, and they get a nice turn. Mann to Sperling to Kiffer, and they get out of the inning, but 4 runs do come across. As we're through 3, we send it to the 4th. You're watching CarShield Collegiate League TV.
Attack.
Just a quick reminder, this inning's brought to you by Interco Recycling. Interco has been recycling non-ferrous industrial metals, batteries, computers, and electronics since 1996. The company operates a 400,000 square foot, 45-acre facility on the Illinois side of downtown St. Louis. So if your company's got large amount of scrap metals, batteries, or even electronics to recycle, you can call Interco Recycling at 877-258-3601 or on the web at www.itcscrap.com. Interco Recycling, a Mellatronics recycler since 1996. Dawson Taylor back out for another inning of work as he misses upstairs with that first pitch. As Zach Floyd leads things off here in the top of the 4th inning, 9-4 is the score. As the Eagles plated 4 runs last half to get on the board. They were trailing 9-0, but notched 4 against the right-hander Chase Stevens. And now Dawson Taylor back out for another inning of work in his 2nd inning. Retired the side in order, worked a good, clean inning in the 3rd. Last time we saw Dawson Taylor come out, strike out the side, and then he was removed from the game, but this time getting to a couple innings of work. Not sure how many he'll go today. But the right-hander delivers a nice fastball for a swing and a miss from Zach Floyd. So here in the top of the 4th inning, 9-4 is the score. McMahon started the game, and now Taylor coming in relief. Ball's fouled back to the screen. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Taylor delivers the 2-2 pitch right back to Taylor. Puts a glove on it, flips it over to Arnson for the first out. Good play by Taylor. Ground ball right back at you.
Good old PFPs. PFPs right there.
They don't happen all that often, but when they do, you get to see those pitchers get to be described as athletes. A lot of times people like to hate on them, but they are big time. The movements they have and the way they can throw the ball with the high velocity, the demands on the body it takes, but then also they got to be able to, from time to time, try to flash the leather. You love to see it.
They teach you when you're a young pitcher, always be ready for that comebacker, be in that good fielding position.
They do. Charlie Bornoff might disagree. He says pitcher fielding practice is a big waste of time. Oh, no, he says no.
Yeah.
He says
finishing in a fielding position. It can
time.
hinder your mechanics a little bit.
Well, yeah, when you think about you're going to completely rotate through the ball and then you're going to say, oh, I'm going to get in a fielding position. There has been some new train of thought in baseball training to say that that may not be the most advantageous thing to do to be a pitcher. So that's kind of where I had some of that rhetoric about, do you get taught that? Should you get taught that? Let's dive into a conversation about that.
I never said you should. That's
a good point.
It's the things
you never
training
said that.
Training has evolved since we were kids even.
Oh yeah. Training's evolving, especially since we were kind of coming, this generation's coming up. The training, there has been a shift in that training about, okay, do we need to focus on finishing in a fielding position, or do we need to more focus on having the most efficient mechanics and try to hack that kinetic chain as a swing and a miss from Tyler Headcamp? He goes down.
Because most of the time you might get 2 or 3 balls hit right back at you in any given game. So it's all percentages.
It's all percentages. So I think the idea is spending the time on the stuff that matters, on the things that you will do most.
It's important to be, but most
100
of the
pitches in a game.
Yeah, most of those plays are reactionary plays anyway.
Right.
So
like
being in a good fielding position
yeah.
isn't really going to do you a whole lot of good.
Because a lot of times a pitcher, the ability to kind of block off that front side and completely rotate through, you're going to finish, if you're a left-hander, towards one of the bases, not really towards home plate, because you want to completely rotate through and get the most efficient movements out of your mechanics. And when you're rotating your hips at such high velocity, to uncork them back and try to get into a good fielding position sometimes isn't the best thing to do, but there is a balance there, and I think it all comes down to being athletic as well.
I mean, look at even past generations. Look at guys like Bob Gibson. He would finish his windup and be totally almost off the mound on the first base side. he didn't care about
a fielding position.
See, he just struck everybody out.
No one's touching him.
Exactly.
With the minuscule ERA and going complete game after complete game.
It was a different time back then.
Indeed.
But then again, that kind of.
It's always a different time.
It always is. Every time's a different time.
9-4 is the score here in the top of the 4th inning, as Taylor works a 3-1 pitch to Sperling. Called for a strike. So now 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away. In the top of the 4th, 9-4 is the score. We'll see what Mr. Taylor brings on the full count. Pitch miss upstairs. He loses Sperling. They'll bring up Luke Mann.
Not the guy you'd rather face Mann leading off an inning versus with a runner on base.
Never want to face him. He's been hot.
You got a good point there. If I had the choice, I'd just say put him on first.
Mann's been decent this season so far, hitting .615 coming into this game, but then also has a couple singles, a couple runs scored, and also 2 RBIs, so put that to about .630.
Yeah, just a casual 600.
Coming into this hitting
Nothing much.
.615 with 2 singles, 4 doubles, 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in, 8 runs scored.
Had another double and a couple RBIs today.
Then add what he's been able to do on the mound as well. 2 innings, 5 strikeouts. But we'll see what he can do against Dawson Taylor, the right-hander. The pitch missed away. Man on the day, 2 for 2 with 2 runs batted in. He's pulled both of his balls to right field. Both of them have been line drives, making good contact both times. Swing and a miss, a healthy 3-0 hack.
Oh, let it eat, big dog, let it eat. (3-0), 9-4 lead. Have a hack, why don't you?
We like to see that. No matter the count, I'm loving that. As Taylor comes set and delivers a pitch, misses upstairs. So after making a nice play on the mound and striking out Headcamp, he walks Sperling and Mann. So now runners on first and second to bring up Seth Halverson. Seth Halverson started this game on the mound, but he also started this game. He started all the scoring off back in the top of the first inning, had a 2-run home run as he hit the ball over the big wall over there in right field, then went on the mound and threw a couple of scoreless frames, struck out 4 hitters. So we'll see what he does here with runners on first and second, his team up 9-4.
How about Mann and Halverson back-to-back in an order? That's just not fun.
That's when you're playing the show and you press L1B, intentional walk, or whatever it is.
L1 circle.
L1 circle. That running fastball catches the strike zone. And the right-hander who works from the first base side of the rubber for the Forrest Herman's Eagles. In the top of the 4th inning, Dawson Taylor with a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Halverson. Nice pitch for strike 2. So 2 on and 2 away. 1-ball, 2-strike count. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Taylor's working on Halverson. Kiffer would be the next hitter, but we don't see him in the on-deck circle. Maybe potentially a situation where they would roll this one, but it doesn't matter. Halverson gets rung up on strikes. Tyler gets it, and we will send it to the bottom of the 4th inning.
Oh, Halverson just got tossed from this game.
And Halverson gets tossed, arguing the strike 3 call. Interesting developments. We'll sort it out for you when we get back. You're watching Car Shield Collegiate League TV. Connor McKenna, new pitcher on the mound. So Chase Stevens goes 1 inning, surrenders 4 runs. After Halverson goes 2 innings, let up no runs, but now Halverson has been let go of this ball game. The umpire gave him the old ejection after the strike 3 called. He got rung up on a Dawson Taylor fastball. Questionable pitch, more than questionable for Halverson, as he had a couple of words to offer to the umpire, and he gave him the ejection. So we'll see who they, how they handle that next time around in the order, as Halverson was the pitcher and designated hitter.
We'll just have to have a pinch hitter for Halverson.
A new arm on the mound, Connor McKenna. That pitch missed upstairs. Connor McKenna last time out, he went 2 1/3, surrendered 7 hits and 5 earned runs, got 4 strikeouts, walked 3. And that start the Truman State right-hander. That ball is hit to the right side. Will get through in a single for Jalen Jones to start off the bottom of the 4th inning for the Eagles. A good single there by Jones. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. As Steven Randazzo now comes to the plate. He was a part of that wild ending to the 2nd inning when he reached on what looked like could be a double play, but then there was an error. Then he tried to get to second base and they called him out. And we see a strike call there that you call a little questionable. Nonetheless, a strike. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, a 9-4 score. Runner on first is Jalen Jones. He takes off, throw down by Gibson, but Jones will swipe second. He almost comes off the bag, but it's back on there before Sperling can apply any tag, and Jones will steal second base. And as you know so well, our stolen bases are brought to you by the O'Fallon Family YMCA. It's the Y for youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. Jalen Jones swiping second. Randazzo in the box. Eagles chipped away at that lead, at that deficit last inning. They plated 4 runs, and that 9-0 lead looks much more manageable now, as they look like they can do some damage. They continue to get guys moving. The Truman State right-hander, his 2nd appearance here in the Carcio Collegiate League. He worked into the 3rd inning last time on the mound when he was starting for Will Bradley's Cavemen. 9-4 is the score. The Cavemen have the lead over the Eagles. The Eagles 3-2. The Cavemen 2-1. You can always see the standings posted on social media and in those game programs, as the right-hander misses the ball, chopped away to the left side. Steven Randazzo up at the top of the order, still looking for his first hit here in the Carcio Collegiate League. And Jalen Jones, the runner at second base, who's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. Randazzo 0 for 2 at the plate as that pitch is up and in.
Not sure how that missed him. That was, you couldn't fit a piece of paper between the ball and his jersey.
McKenna comes set, the right-hander. Pitch misses low, and Randazzo reaches via the free pass. So I'll bring up Hamilton Anderson. So runners on first and second. Jalen Jones singled and then stole second base. So a couple of runners on, nobody out for Hamilton Anderson.
And as we mentioned, it was 9-0, but no lead is ever safe. Eagles string a couple more hits together. All of a sudden, you could see the tying run at the plate.
That pitch misses low. Hamilton Anderson was a part of one of those highlight reels that we post on Twitter. He had an absolute seed gunning a runner down at second base. We've seen some of these catchers' pop times be pretty impressive down to the plate. The one behind the dish, Chase Gibson, has a nice arm as well. That ball's popped away. Both of the Stouse catchers do a great job behind the plate. Ty Stouse and Wade Stouse. And then you can't forget about Austin Schmidt as well. We saw him have one of those highlight reel plays as it's 9-4 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 2-1 is the count. And the talent level, the competition level has been really good to see. We were talking with our producer Charlie Bornoff before this game, and hey, who's your early candidates for the All Shield team, All Car Shield Collegiate League team? And you know, obviously it's too early to tell, but there's already good conversations about a lot of these players who have been doing well this season so far, but also we look at the prospects for the future through a 30-game season for all the players. And obviously with the fluidity, we take a lot of those factors of the fluidity of the rosters. As both runners are off, Jones tries to swipe third base, and he does. As he stays on the bag, and it's the double steal right there. Those stolen bases are both brought to you by the O'Fallon Family YMCA, the Y for Youth Development, Healthy Living, and Social Responsibility. So runners on second and third. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Nobody away for Hamilton Anderson. The count is juiced to 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Risky proposition there, stealing third with nobody out, down 5 runs. But hey, anything to light a spark in your offense.
Jalen Jones already with a couple stolen bases this inning. You mentioned it was risky, but it doesn't matter. He drives them all in. Hamilton Anderson belts this one to right field, and the Eagles are back in this ball game. Absolutely drilled that ball to the bullpen as he trots around the base pass. Hamilton Anderson with his second knock today and second run scored as well, as the catcher just laid into that ball on a full count pitch.
Absolutely laid into it is correct. Thought he might have struck out on the pitch before, but got a good pitch to hit there, and just put a absolutely great swing on it and just drove that one, more of a line drive home run.
Hamilton Anderson drives in 3-run home run to right field. Now the score is 9-7. A great job by the catcher, passing the baton on to Noah Jacobson, and still nobody away in this inning. So after 2 scoreless frames from Seth Halverson, who's now been ejected from the game, Chase Stevens surrendered 4 runs, and now relief pitcher Connor McKenna has already let up 3 and has yet to record an out here in the top of the 4th inning. As we saw the Eagles kind of chip away, they scored 4 runs in the top of the 3rd, but 3 more here in the top of the 4th really makes things interesting in a 9-7 game. They scored 7 unanswered runs, as one time the Cavemen were up 9-0. That pitch is missed low, but that Hamilton Anderson home run proving to be huge. Two balls and 2 strikes to Jacobson. McKenna gets the sign and nods and delivers the pitch. That ball's hit to the left side. Good backhand play by Mann. Throws it across the diamond to Kiffer. First out of the inning. Nice play on the backhand by Mann from the hot corner. A good strong throw to record the first out. That brings up the designated hitter, John Stallcup. Stallcup's first pitch swinging, grounds it to Daniels at short, throws it over to first to Kiffer, and that will be the second out. So after the first 3 hitters caused McKenna some trouble with the single, walk, and then 3-run home run by Hamilton Anderson, He retires Jacobson on a ground out and Stalkup on a ground out. Now brings up Arnson to the box. Arnson had an RBI single back in the third inning. He's 1 for 2. And this one's grounded up to Daniels. Bobbles it a little bit, stays with it, throws it across the diamond, but doesn't get handled by Kiffer. Would have been safe anyway. And the error on the shortstop, Mitch Daniels, allows Kenny Piper to come to the plate here in the bottom of the fourth inning. So 2 away and 1 runner aboard. Kenny Piper now at the plate, facing off against the right-hander Connor McKenna, who has surrendered the 3-run home run that's really let the Eagles get back into this ball game. That pitch is in there for a strike. Piper here in the bottom of the fourth inning coming to the plate does represent that tying run. The Eagles at one time trailed 9-0, but chipping away the last 2 innings at the lead. It's called for a strike. 0-2 is the count with 2 outs and 1 runner on, and Ole Arnson reached on the air by the shortstop Daniels. The center fielder Kenny Piper hitting with an 0-2 count. The pitch from McKenna is fouled away. Pitch missed upstairs. He tried to climb the ladder on 0-2 with the fastball. Good job of Piper to lay off it. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 away, and just a 2-run ball game now after the Eagles got a 3-run home run from Hamilton Anderson earlier this inning. Pitch inside, it nicks Piper, and he'll reach on the free pass. Levi Maslowski now comes to the plate, the right fielder.
And just like that, go-ahead run comes to the plate. A couple of innings ago, it was 9-0. Now you scratch and claw your way back, get a 3-run homer, and then all of a sudden you're right back in the ball game, and it's a whole new game.
Runners on first and second, 2 aboard and 2 away for Levi Maslowski. Struck out looking back in the second, reached on a fielder's choice in the third, and swings through that first pitch offering from McKenna here in the fourth. As 0-1 is the count with 2 away. And the right fielder comes up. He does represent that go-ahead run as we play in the bottom of the fourth inning. A swing and a miss on that pitch. So a couple swings and misses from the right fielder. Now in an 0-2 count. He had an 0-2 count to Kenny Piper, but ended up hitting him. We'll see what he can do. It's Maslowski. Strike 3. He takes that pitch on the corner. And McKenna strands a couple runners. We send it to the fifth. 9-7 is the score. 3-run home run from Hamilton Anderson puts the Eagles right back into this ball game. 9-7, Cavemen on top. We send it to the fifth. Just a reminder, this inning is brought to you by Interco Recycling. Interco has been recycling non-ferrous industrial metals, batteries, computers, and electronics since 1996. The company operates a 400,000 square foot, 45-acre facility on the Illinois side of downtown St. Louis. So if your company has large amounts of scrap metals, batteries, or even electronics to recycle, you can call Interco Recycling at 1-877-258-3601. Or on the web, you can find them at www.itcscrap.com. Interco Recycling, a Mellotronics recycler since 1996. Welcome back to the broadcast booth. Shane Holsey, Will Connerly, Charlie Bornoff, David Schmoll on the public address as we're here in the fifth inning. 9-7 is the score. The Cavemen have the lead, but the Eagles have chipped away the last couple innings, and they send out a new arm. The southpaw, Michael Hoffman, is the new pitcher on the mound. Connor Kiffer comes up. He had the big home run last time at the plate that kind of ended that second inning in a rolled fashion as he drove that ball to right field, hitting clean up, and that's indeed what he did as he cleared the base paths and the inning in the second inning as they eventually rolled it against McMahon, who started this game for the Eagles. Taylor came in and worked a couple of innings, and now they hand it off to Hoffman. So 2 innings from McMahon, 2 innings from Taylor, and here in the fifth, we'll see what the southpaw can do and try to keep the deficit where it is, just at 2 runs. There's a swing and a miss on that breaking ball from Kiffer. The delivery from Hoffman, a swing and a miss, so comes up and strikes out the first hitter he sees out of the bullpen swinging. A couple of good breaking balls that at bat to the first baseman, Connor Kiffer, and he goes down swinging. Now Mitch Daniels, the shortstop, comes up. He's 0 for 2. So the right-handed hitting shortstop here in the top of the fifth inning fouls that ball away. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Facing off against Hoffman. This is Hoffman's 3rd game he's appeared in. He's thrown 4 innings. That breaking ball is missed low. And he's started 1 game on the mound. He's 0 and 1 on the year. Did have 1 loss. Has surrendered 4 hits and 8 runs, 7 of which have been earned. 8 walks to 2 strikeouts with a 12.25 ERA and a 3 whip. So the southpaw working here, striking out Kiffer to start off this inning, and now has 2 strikes on Daniels. That pitch is fouled away. We'll do the 1-2 pitch again here in the top of the fifth inning. It's a good ball game, 9-7 the score, as the Cavemen started off this game with 9 unanswered runs, and then response from the Eagles with 7 unanswered. That's where we stand now.
Talk about basketball being a game of runs. How about baseball?
That pitch is hit to right field. Good piece of 2-strike hitting as Daniels drives it the other way for a single.
Just a great piece of 2-strike hitting. Not trying to do too much. Just going with where the pitch is thrown and getting yourself a nice 2-out hit or 2-strike hit.
Caden Deal comes up, walked, and came around to score in the second inning. The second inning was some kind of parade for the Cavemen. They scored 7 runs and 2 in the first off of that home run from Halverson, and then 7 in the second to take a 9-0 lead. But the Eagles again have chipped away at that lead. But Daniels reaches on the single. He's 1 for 3 now on the day. And Caden Deal comes into the box. The 1-1 pitch from Hoffman. Taken by the left-handed hitting left fielder Caden Deal for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 away and 1 aboard, and Mitch Daniels at first, who reached on the single to right field. Strike 3. Caden Deal gets rung up on the pitch that hits the outside corner. So a couple strikeouts, and now Chase Gibson will come up to the plate.
And if the Eagles can come back and scratch across a couple of more runs, we'll look back at those 2 innings by Dawson Taylor. He came in when the Eagles were down 9-0 and tossed 2 scoreless innings. Could prove to be big.
It could be big time, as he's been big time. That right arm is powerful. He throws hard, and watch out. Nobody in the stands right there, but that piece of lumber goes over there to the stands.
That might be the far. We've seen a lot of batters lose their bats. That might be the farthest one. That cleared the dugout.
That's definitely a candidate for farthest bat thrown. We didn't know we would be giving out that superlative, but now we do to Mr. Chase Gibson, so we'll see. And the bats can slip out.
Get some pine tar on there, Chase. He's rubbing that baby up, spraying some on his hands. I think he's got it taken care of.
Indeed he does.
As you said, luckily no fans down there.
That pitch is fouled away, this time towards the Eagles dugout. In a lot of Major League teams, I know we talked about this earlier, but they're really conscious about things flying into the stands, and a lot of them have made the efforts to get the netting all the way down and kind of prevent that thing. But fortunately, no fan had to deal with that piece of lumber flying into the stands. That ball is popped up. Bauer is chasing for it, but it's out of play. Pitch missed. The breaking ball didn't get on top of it and floated above the strike zone. Hoffman has struck out a couple hitters, and sandwiched in between those 2 strikeouts is a single by Mitch Daniels, who stands on first base. Hoffman strikes out the side. We send it to the bottom of the 5th. 9-7 the score. The Cavemen on top. Eagles coming up to the plate. Jacob Bauer, Jalen Jones, Steven Randazzo. As we're in the bottom of the fifth inning, a 9-7 Cavemen lead as Connor McKenna's back out for another inning of work. He surrendered the home run to Hamilton Anderson. Last inning, which proved to really get these Eagles back into the game. Just a 2-run deficit now after they were once trailing 9-0. Looking to come back, and the right-hander's looking to keep the lead where it is. He has a 2-run cushion. As we head towards the latter stages of this game, that ball's popped up to the left side. Luke Mann giving some chase, but it's foul and out of play.
Our buddy Coulter up here bringing all the heat. Replacing Teddy Turntables, as we like to call him.
That ball's fouled away to the right side as Shane was referencing the music that's being played out here at the ballpark. And if you can't hear it from the crowd mic that we have, you may be able to come out to the ballpark. We still got a couple more games today, and you can hear what Shane said is bringing the heat.
Mm-hmm.
They'll also be bringing the heat literally, as it will be a pretty hot night.
Yes, it will.
You'll hear some good music while you're at it if you're here for some Carcio Collegiate League baseball action, a doubleheader tonight starting around 5:30 as that ball's hit up the middle. And Daniels goes diving but can't get any leather on it, and that's a single for Jacob Bauer, his second hit here in the Carcio Collegiate League season. You got to say Tom is pretty proud of him.
Absolutely.
Jalen Jones comes up. He's 2 for 2 with a couple singles, a run scored back in the fourth. Jalen Jones came in today with 3 hits on the season, but he's pushed that total to 5. And the bottom of the lineup working kind of as a double leadoff hitter. 2 for 2 today. Does represent that tying run here in the bottom of the fifth inning. He's working against McKenna. That pitch is taken for a strike. The runner on first is Jacob Bauer. Jalen Jones in the box. McKenna delivers the 1-1. That ball's popped up. Kiffer is under it, and he'll catch it for the first out. That ball, just a lazy pop up to the first baseman. So Jones is retired for the first time today.
And keeps the go-ahead run in the on-deck circle. If you're McKenna right now, that's the goal.
Randazzo comes to the plate. Walked and came around to score in the fourth inning. That pitch missed low, scored on that Hamilton Anderson home run as he drilled that ball to right field. But 0 for 2. He's still in search of his first hit here in the Carcio Collegiate League. He may have it right there. He does. As Bauer's going to advance to third. And Randazzo trots into second. So runners on second and third for the man who belted the home run last time, Hamilton Anderson. Things getting a little interesting. Tying run on second base here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And the man you don't want up, he's swinging a hot piece of lumber, drilled it to right field last time at the plate.
Literally and figuratively hot at the plate.
So Randazzo is on second, Jacob Bauer is on third. And Hamilton Anderson in the box. He drills this one. This could tie the game, and it will as Randazzo comes around to score. And it's all knotted up at 9-9. Hamilton Anderson, have a day, why don't you?
How about 5 ribbies for you?
A 3-run home run followed up by a 2 RBI single. More importantly for the game situation, a 2 RBI game tying single as he's now on first base with just one away. And Noah Jacobson comes up. He was hot coming up into that at-bat, had the home run last time, and drills that ball to right field to knock home Jacob Bauer and Randazzo. Now the game is tied at 9-9. A swing and a miss by Jacobson from the first offering from McKenna. One aboard in Anderson, who now has 5 runs batted in today. And 1 away as Noah Jacobson's at the plate. Noah Jacobson, the shortstop, hitting the third place hitter today for Forrest Herman. And Forrest Herman's ought to be proud of his squad. They've battled back from a 9-0 deficit to come all the way back to now make the game 9-9 as Noah Jacobson pops up to Sperling at second base for the second out, as there's 2 away and 1 on in Hamilton Anderson. But how about Hamilton Anderson coming up in a couple clutch situations? In the 4th inning, he belts a 3-run home run, and then in the 5th inning has a 2 RBI single. Those 5 RBIs, it's a completely different game if it weren't for Mr. Anderson hitting up there in the 2-hole in the order, doing a nice job, and give credit to Randazzo getting his first hit here in the Car Shield Collegiate League, coming around and making some noise. After he comes to score on the Anderson single. So after Halverson worked a couple scoreless innings, Stevens allowed 4 runs in the 3rd inning, and McKenna surrendered 3 runs in the 4th, and now has allowed the comeback to be all the way completed here with 2 more runs plated in the 5th, as we're tied at 9-9. Oh, these 7-inning ball games can take a while sometimes when you see this offense parade from both sides. And the offense has been on display. Jam-packed scoring inning after inning, and the designated hitter wants to continue that trend as the go-ahead run is on first base for the Eagles. As John Stallcup is at the plate. And he takes the second strike. The umpire thought it could have been the 3rd one.
Stopped himself.
He said
mid-ring up.
But now it's 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, a 9-9 ball game.
Ball in the gap. Anderson will score.
He's going to be off with the pitch. Pitch missed up and in, and John Stallcup will reach base for a second time, reaching on the free pass. Make that the 3rd time as he got hit by pitch in the 1st inning as well. So Ole Arntzen coming up to the plate with runners on 1st and 2nd. Arntzen reached on an error in the 4th, had an RBI single in the 3rd, and grounded out in the 1st. Here in the bottom of the 5th, runner in scoring position does represent that go-ahead run. As McKenna comes set, no action in either bullpen. That strike is called. As Arntzen is looking to knock in that go-ahead run in scoring position at second base, in the form of Hamilton Anderson, who has 5 runs batted in today. Pitch up and in, missed. The 1-1 pitch from McKenna is high and above the strike zone. Now 2 balls and a strike with 2 away, and 2-1 for Arntzen. Arntzen already has an RBI to his credit. Another one this at-bat would result in the Eagles taking the lead after being down 9-0 in the 2nd inning. That's a strike. But now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. The runner in scoring position That go-ahead run for the Eagles. Wouldn't that be something that they could come back from being down 9-0 in the second inning? It's already impressive that they've scored 9 unanswered runs. We'll see if they can't fully complete the comeback and take the lead. It's up to Arnson in the box. A 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. So McKenna strands a pair, but not before the Eagles come back to tie this ballgame. We send it to the 6th. You're watching Carcio Collegiate League TV. Interco has been recycling non-ferrous industrial metals, batteries, computers, and electronics since 1996. The company operates a 400,000 square foot, 45-acre facility on the Illinois side of downtown St. Louis. So if your company has large amounts of scrap metals, batteries, or even electronics to recycle, you can call Interco Recycling. 1-877-258-3601. Find them on the web at www.itcscrap.com. That's Interco Recycling, a Mellatronics recycler since 1996. Zach Floyd, Tyler Headcamp, and Daniel Sperling leading things off in the top of the 6th. Hoffman back out for another inning of work. I'm alongside Shane Holsey here for this broadcast. It's been a good one so far. We're all knotted up 9-9 the score, Shane. It's been a beautiful ball game. 9 runs scored in the first 2 innings by the Cavemen. But then runs scored in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th as the Eagles claw back in it. They chip away, chip away, chip away. And now it's 9-9.
This game of baseball is a funny thing, isn't it?
Oh, it's funny. It's fun. It's hard to explain sometimes, but we absolutely love it.
That's why we love it.
Strike 3. Nice pitch on the corner by Hoffman, and you mentioned it's hard to explain. That's the job of the color analyst. So
hey, I got Game Changer, I got Twitter, I got this. I'm doing my best.
Aye. I'll be in Shane Holsey's shoes next game, so let us know if you think he's up for the task of being the color analyst.
Oh, well. What would I do without you?
I don't know. What would you do?
I don't know. That's why I asked you.
Well, 9-9 is the score, and we've enjoyed a beautiful ball game. It's been an interesting one, and we mentioned it's hard to explain, but that's why we love the game, and that's, kind of the job to break it down and say, okay, 9 runs scored in the first 2 innings. A couple of the relief pitchers allow the Eagles to get back into this game. We're at 9-9, and towards the latter stages of the game, it's going to come down to this relief pitching, it seems like, as a swing and a miss right there. Hoffman striking out the first 2 hitters he sees. He has now, through an inning and 2/3, recorded 5 strikeouts. Every hitter he's put away has been via the strikeout, and we'll see what the southpaw can do as he faces Daniel Sperling with 2 away in the top of the 6th inning.
Eagles bullpen coming in, shutting the door. A couple of scoreless innings by Taylor, and now Hoffman trying to do the same thing.
Hoffman's breaking ball misses. Hoffman, this is the sharpest we've seen him look. Looking pretty good, striking out 5 hitters through 5 outs he's recorded. But now the lineup flips back over to the top. Daniel Sperling, the second baseman in the box. A strike called on the corner. And that ball is fouled away. Daniel Sperling came around to score. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning, walked in the fourth, and flew out to lead off the top of the first to left field. Ball's fouled away again. And Sperling takes that pitch low from Hoffman. Here in a 9-9 ball game, it's getting to be a nail-biter as we head towards the latter stages of this one. The game up for the taking. As Hoffman thought he had strike 3, but ends up losing to Sperling on ball 4. Close call there, but now it brings up somebody you don't want at the plate, Luke Mann. He's been tearing it up these last couple, really all season long, hitting over 600 coming into this game. Add a couple hits to that, Shane.
Not a bad start. Not a bad start. One swing of the bat could give the Cavemen the lead right here. All of a sudden, 9 unanswered runs by the Cavemen, 9 unanswered runs by the Eagles, and whoever scores, well, would say the next unanswered run, but you never know.
You never know in the Car Shield Collegiate League. These late innings have gotten wild. We've seen grand slams in the final frame. We've seen 6 runs in the final frame, a couple grand slams in the final frame. We've seen things get absolutely wild. But you guys love baseball. You're going to see some more baseball tonight. We got 2 more games after this one, and we're excited. The Gems and the Hoots is the nightcap, and that's going to be an exciting game. And before that, they have a doubleheader starting around 5:30.
Falcons Corn Belters will be a 5:30 game.
We'll see how Josh Kiesel's squad responds. And you're looking at the standings. It's pretty close all throughout in the standings. All these teams pretty competitive. The Eagles are 3-2 and the Falcons are 3-2. They both sit atop of the table tied for first. The O'Fallon Hoots are 3-3 and they're hot. They've won 3 of their last 4 games. That ball's hit hard to right field, but foul. A good stroke by Mann, but out of play. So Hoffman facing Mann. The pitch as Mann pops this one up. And it's caught by Piper as we send it to the bottom of the 6th inning. 9-9's the score. Nail-biter, don't go anywhere on Car Shield Collegiate League TV. So Kenny Piper leading things off. A swing and a miss on the first offering. So we're here in the bottom of the sixth inning. It's been a nail biter as we're heading towards the final frame here in the bottom of the sixth. Here in this 7-inning ball game in the Carcio Collegiate League. And it started off with Halverson. He hit a 2-run home run in the first, and then 7 more runs for the Cavemen in the second to lead 9-0. But now 9 unanswered runs as this ball is belted to left field. And it's off the car shield sign in left. That will be a stand-up double for Kenny Piper to get things started in the bottom of the sixth inning. And we mentioned after the Eagles went down 9-0 in the second inning, they scored 9 unanswered, and now the go-ahead run in scoring position in the form of Kenny Piper after that double. Good job by Piper. His 3rd double of the season. Now in scoring position for Levi Maslowski. Be a great time for his first hit here in the Carcio Collegiate League. Would likely give the Eagles the lead. Ball's fouled back to the screen. A swing and a miss from Maslowski, and he goes down swinging for the first out. Now Bauer comes to the box. Singleton came around to score last time at the plate.
Big strikeout there for McKenna. Now, say Bauer hits a ground ball to the right side. The runner advances to third. Then there's 2 away, and then the sac fly is taken out of order. So that's a big pitch to come away with a strikeout with the runner on second, no outs.
McKenna working in his 3rd inning. He came in after Chase Stevens, who worked 1. He worked the 3rd. McKenna worked the 4th and the 5th. Now working here in the bottom of the 6th. Gets that first pitch over for a strike to Jacob Bauer. 0-1 is the count with 1 away and 1 on. McKenna misses with that pitch. That ball's hit to the right side. McKenna gets over, but he doesn't get there in time, drops the ball, and Bauer gets on. So Bauer gets on via the infield single, and runners will now be on the corners. Things getting interesting. Now just 90 feet away, that go-ahead run stands. And then the Eagles, who have had Hoffman look good on the mound, would just need 3 outs to close it, but stay in the moment. Jalen Jones, who's 2 for 3 on the day, has been swinging it well this afternoon. What can he do against the right-hander McKenna? That ball is hit to the shortstop, a diving play there by Daniels. A nifty play by the shortstop, now 2 away.
Potentially a game-saving play as well. He was positioned perfectly in double play depth and really just took a step to his right. Made a nice catch, and now the Cavemen 1 out away from stranding the go-ahead run over at third base.
Runners at the corners, 2 away. The go-ahead run 90 feet away for Randazzo, who had his first hit of the season back last inning. Also walked and came around to score in the 4th. We'll see what the leadoff hitter can do against McKenna. A swing and a miss. McKenna gets him with the fastball. McKenna a Truman State right-hander, and Randazzo plays at Drury University. The outfielders, two Great Lakes Valley Conference athletes facing off against each other in a critical situation in the bottom of the sixth. 2 outs, go-ahead run, 90 feet away. A swing and a miss from Randazzo. McKenna got him on the high fastball. We're through 6. We go to the 7th, 9-9 the score. You're watching Car Show Collegiate League TV. This inning is brought to you by Interco Recycling. Interco has been recycling non-ferrous industrial metals, batteries, computers, and electronics since 1996. The company operates a 400,000 square foot, 45-acre facility on the Illinois side of downtown St. Louis. If your company has large amounts of scrap metals, batteries, or electronics to recycle, you can just call Interco Recycling at 1-877-258-3601 or on the web at www.itcscrap.com. That's Interco Recycling, a Mellatronics recycler since 1996. Final frame. As Hoffman comes out, we're all knotted up, and that first pitch is taken for a strike. There's a new hitter into the game. This spot in the lineup was previously occupied by Halverson. But now Nick Rose taking that place as Halverson, who was the pitcher and designated hitter, got ejected last time at the plate as he was rung up on strikes, arguing the call as Rose takes a healthy swing and a miss on that pitch as they throw it around the horn. And Rose goes down swinging to start off the top of the 7th inning. Connor Kiffer had that big home run to end the 2nd inning. And yes, to end it, as they, after he hit the home run, they rolled that inning. But Kiffer in a 9-9 ball game hitting in the top of the 7th. The 7th will be the final frame no matter what the score is, as we're all knotted at 9-9. Cavemen in search of their 3rd win. Eagles in search of their 4th. So we found ourselves a nail-biter so far, but good pitching from the left-hander out of the bullpen. Hoffman. So he gets the strike there. Michael Hoffman has looked pretty impressive tonight. With 6 strikeouts now, working in his 3rd inning.
Well, we can't say enough about this Eagles bullpen. Between Taylor and now Hoffman. After 9 runs in the first couple of innings, actually inning in the 3rd after that inning was rolled, neither of these two arms have given up a single tally.
That ball's chopped to the shortstop. Jacobson throws it over, and he's out at first. Connor Kiffer's retired for the 2nd out. Good 6-3 if you're scoring it. Jacobson with a nice play over to first.
And if you're Jacobson, you have to decide, do you want to come get that ball and play it on a short hop or get the long hop? And he took the long hop and still knows he has a strong enough arm to get the runner at first and got him by just about a half step.
Mitch Daniels coming into the box. He's 1 for 3. That breaking ball, which has looked sharp today from Hoffman, gets over for strike 1. Pitch missed low. That ball's hit well to left field. Randazzo backtracks to catch it just before the warning track for the third out. We send it to the bottom of the 7th. Final chance for the Eagles coming up on Carcio Collegiate League TV. Hamilton Anderson comes up, and he's had himself a day so far. Can he continue that success? The left-handed hitting catcher hit a 3-run home run in the 4th, had a 2 RBI double in the 5th. Let's make that a single, but 5 RBIs for the catcher as he swings through the first pitch, swinging it as he's been hot this afternoon.
Number 6 could end it.
Singled in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, hit a home run in the 4th, and had a 2 RBI single in the 5th. Takes a healthy hack right there.
He's trying to end it.
As they have the shift on Anderson, the only guy on the left side of the infield is the third baseman, Luke Mann. They're shifting the power hitting catcher, and a healthy hack, a swing and a miss is the first strikeout. Hamilton Anderson swings through that one. First time he's been retired today. It took all the way to the final frame to do it. He still had himself a heck of a ball game with a 3-run home run in the 4th and a 2 RBI single in the 5th. Is a big reason why these Eagles are even close to being in this game. As Josh Hoffman, the left-hander, strikes out the first hitter he sees in this ball game. Josh Hoffman, the new pitcher on the mound. So it went Halverson, Stevens, McKenna, and now Hoffman, who's on the mound. Hoffman, here in his third appearance, he's thrown 5 innings, has a 2.8 ERA, 7 strikeouts to 6 walks. Coming into this one is 1-1 is his record on the mound. Has surrendered 4 hits and 3 runs, but just 2 earned in 5 innings of work.
Tough task for him. 2, 3, 4 in the order. He's working for the tie here.
A swing and a miss from Jacobson. Pitch missed upstairs. As we mentioned, bottom of the 7th inning, this is the final frame. Best case scenario for the Cavemen would be a tie.
Be their second tie.
Make things a little interesting in those standings. That pitch is missed upstairs. But the tie, we give the team the credit for. Tie obviously better than a loss, kind of working like hockey in these standings, where you see that the tie, the teams are going to get credit for those if they do end up drawing the game in a tie, as that ball's hit up the middle. Daniels with a nice play over to first for the second out. John Stallcup, designated hitter, final chance for the Eagles. They went down 9-0 in the second inning. Chipped away to score 9 unanswered, but he's the final chance to say they could complete that comeback, as we're all knotted at 9 in the bottom of the 7th inning with 2 away and Stallcup at the plate. Stallcup, a little check swing.
A one-handed snag in the Eagles dugout down there.
As Stallcup, it was the check swing, and it's
a lot happening on that foul ball.
A foul ball. Watch out in the dugout. Head on a swivel.
Absolutely.
Ball's hit down the left field line. Foul. 0-2. Couple foul balls from Stallcup. One that you typically see, then one that went into the dugout.
On a check swing. Little excuse me check swing.
It's one of those where you accidentally hit the button to swing.
Mm-hmm.
That pitch missed upstairs. What is that when you're playing the show and you?
That's it. Just the X swing button.
The contact swing, but you barely press it. That's kind of what happened there. Never seen those go into the dugout though.
No.
Pitch outside is Hoffman. Is trying to work a clean frame in the bottom of the 7th inning. John Stallcup, final chance for the Eagles in a 9-9 game. It's been a very eventful baseball game so far. That ball's popped out and away. The SIUE catcher, the final shot, former Webster Groves statesman. Here in the bottom of the 7th, we're all knotted at 9. Falcons and the Core Belters up next, along with the Gems and the Hoots for the nightcap. 3 games on Carcio Collegiate League TV today, and John Stallcup gets a single to center field to extend this ballgame and bring up Arnson.
Eagles aren't done yet.
What can Ole Arnson do? He had an RBI single in the 3rd inning. And here in the bottom of the 7th inning, now the winning run on first base in the form of John Stallcup. Hoffman gets that one for a strike. That ball's popped up toward the right side. This could do it, but it drops for a foul ball. Kiffer couldn't get to it. Now 0-2 is the count with 2 away and 1 on. Arnson does represent that final chance for the Eagles. Here in a tie ball game, we would end in a tie if the Eagles can't score here, and they got the final shot. 0-2 count, 2 away for the first baseman, Arnson. Pitch missed low. Arnson lays off it. Arnson hits this one to right field. And it gets over, a walk-off home run for Arnson with the home run. Big time right there as it goes over the wall, and the Eagles win it on a walk-off 2-run shot from Oldie Arnson as he walks around the base pass, driving in John Stallcup. The Eagles win it. 11-9 is the final. Wow, Shane.
What a way to end it. 11 unanswered runs, and the comeback is complete for the Eagles for the second straight day. I guess you could call that 2 walk-off home runs in a row.
Eagles now improved to 4-2, 2 walk-off home runs. Oldie Arnson with the walk-off home run. We'll be back with you. A couple more broadcasts coming up. For Charlie Bornoff and Shane Holsey, we'll send it to end this broadcast, wrap it up. We'll have a new link for you for this next game right on the YouTube channel. 11-9 is the final. Eagles win it. Ollie Arnson with the home run. Walk-off home run. The final, 11-9, Eagles win.